Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of My Story. This My Story is on autism. Pretty much I'm going to be telling you my story about the day I got diagnosed with autism and what it's really done for my life. Um, so here we go. I was 16 when I originally got diagnosed, but all my life my mom kind of had these signs here and there about it. But then I went to this one psychiatrist that I was going to, my normal psychiatrist, because I do take medication. It does help me um, to get through the days. And he said, he said from the things that we were telling him, he said, it does seem like Doug might have a form of autism. And he suggested, he didn't tell us to go, but he suggested us to go get tested for autism spectrum disorder. And so I went and met the autism doctor, which her name was Dr. Mimic, and we did a couple days of testing together. I think it was 3 in total. The first 2 was the testing days. The last one was kind of like just revealing whether or not she diagnosed me with it or not. The first 2 days was more so like talking about my talking test, and then also doing like shape test and stuff like that, memorial test, just stuff like that that would kind of go into that testing. And then the last day she revealed with my mom that and my stepdad there that I do have a form of autism called Asperger's. That doesn't mean that I um changed at all any way at all than I originally was at that moment. Um but at that moment I kind of felt like this weird feeling inside, like something was wrong, like people are gonna judge me. So I'll admit I started having emotional breakdowns in a sense over the situation. My family was there for me. They pretty much told me that there's nothing really I can do. It's just something that's there. It's nothing that's going to change me in the long end. And now I pretty much feel like it's just a part of me. And there's nothing that I can really do about it. But I have family members out there that have autism as well. And there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong at all with people that have autism. It's just something that's going to be a part of their lives forever that might make them be a different way or might make them act differently depending on what the situation is. Like, for example, don't really like to be in big, huge crowds of areas when I'm alone or whatever. I prefer to be with someone that I know is there, or I'll have to take breaks occasionally, and separate myself even from my family sometimes. And that's, they've been very supportive over that, but, sometimes I do have to step away from the whole crew here and kind of just take a few minutes to myself or an hour to myself or whatever in my room, and that's just something that they understand. And then there's also times where I get very emotional. I get very interested in certain topics more than probably others. Um and that's just how I am. And there's nothing really I can change about it. Um and there's days where I literally have a full-end meltdown. The last one I had was just about maybe a month and a half ago. Maybe even less than that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's something that's always going to happen. But it's something that you just gotta work through. My family's starting to kind of realize and know the signs of when I'm upset or mad. the person that kind of usually knows it right away is my mom, because she knows my different facial features throughout the years. She can tell when I'm upset, she can tell when I'm mad, or whatever like that. Or, I mean, my family members around me pretty much support me, um, for no matter what. But just because I have autism does not mean you can't achieve anything that you want to do. Um, I wanted to do YouTube for quite some time. When I diagnosed with autism, I originally thought I was going to have to stop because when people found out about it, I thought that that meant that they were going to judge me, um, because of it, and that's something that I had to work through myself. But of course, I had some help with family members and friends and stuff like that, to work through this and come to the consideration that I do have autism, and there's something that I won't be able to get over. I mean, it's going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life, but it's just something that's going to be there. It's just a part of me. It's not the whole me. And so I realized at some point it was just at the time that I had to embrace the fact that I had it. So I'd rather embrace it right away than wait on down the line and just feel bad about it. So, about a week after I was diagnosed, I kind of came to the conclusion that, okay, I have this thing that I have to realize that I'm still the same person. I'm still me, but I mean, I have it. I can't turn it back. I can't go back on it or anything like that. And I wouldn't want to. I mean, it's me. And the world needs to be who they're destined to be. So, God put us all here for a reason. And I came to realize that. And so, even though I'm 18, I still have moments where I feel worthless, like I should be out doing something else than YouTube every day, um, or Facebook every day. But at this point, this is my job in a way. I mean, I'm still quite young. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go. But I'm very, very getting into culinary arts. So if just because you have like something like autism doesn't make it to where you can't achieve anything that you put your heart to, because at some point I do want to go to culinary school. I do want to open up my restaurant that I have. I already have plans on what I want to make for the restaurant, or I even have a second plan if culinary arts don't work. Um, and a lot of you guys might know that plan already, which is wrestling. And that itself might not even work. That's why I have two plans in base. I have the culinary arts, or I have the wrestling that I can pursue. And that's just something that I've wanted to do. I've also had vet tech times where I wanted to do a vet tech. Um, and those are the three jobs that I've chosen. And just because I have autism doesn't mean I can't achieve it. Like you guys could have all types of things in their world that you might think is wrong with you, but nothing's truly wrong with you. You're being yourself, and that's all that matters. And you need to go out there and achieve and push and do things that might be uncomfortable, but realize that you do have support from your family and your friends and others, that you truly can make it no matter what should you decide to do. And that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. And if you do have meltdowns some point, if you are autism, it's typical. I mean, people might sit there and say, okay, well look, why are you throwing things? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But they don't comprehend what's truly going on inside of someone's body. For example, when I melt down, There's times where I get so furious that all I want to do is just scream, yell, hoop, holler. I've even wanted to fight people, to be honest with you. Um, but I have to kind of take myself away from those situations and kind of separate myself from the pack because they are family. And words do hurt no matter what. But if you don't, then you might do something that you truly regret. And down the line, you truly would regret. So that's pretty much it about that one. Next week's my story will be on. Next week's my story will be on growing up. Pretty much how realizing that at some age you do gotta take that point of growing up from acting and being a child to being a teenager to acting like an adult. And that could be hard sometimes. It was hard for me, and that's my story. You guys will be hearing next week. Have a great day. Peace. Thank you guys for watching. And never underestimate the fact of others, because if you do, you don't truly know what hides behind the skin. Peace.